Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy hump day, everyone. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. Right now, what you'll notice is the ES is trading in a super narrow range, about as narrow as it gets. 5.5 points of total range heading into the RTH Open. That's 13% of ADR. That is about as narrow as it gets on record here. So very dead here as the market awaits Fed Day. Today, FOMC statement, the rate decision, and the press conference to follow. That should provide enough volatility for a higher ADR type of day, a day where we could see somewhere between 40 and 60 points of range. A failure at 4,700 could open up an outside day down where we retreat back toward the rollover gap. Again, this market remains very bullish. Any pullback could still be bought as this thing continues to push higher until we find a strong high. Maybe today helps us develop a strong high. The last time we had a Fed day was 11/1, November 1st there, and price rallied tremendously ever since that date. This right here is a naked level there, kind of like a virgin VPOC of sorts, or an open or unfilled gap. And at some point, if we get rejection, there could be a return all the way back to that level at some point down the road. Again, the harder a market goes up, sometimes the harder it can come back down. But right now, still showing strength, no signs of failure just yet. But we do have a tiny little box that has developed above 4,700. Will that provide a trap and reverse? There could be at least a 50 handle outside day down from a near-term perspective. All right, taking a look here at the NQ. The NQ continues to push higher. This one through the previous year's highs now, so it has now reached our final target of the year. That was the 16,560 level. We also got the 16,570 level, which is the 100% target of the key range that we've been following here. So we've now gotten the full-on target from this key range here. That one right there, breaking to the upside, 50% here, 100% there. Very nice little short-term key range that helped with good trade ideas here over the course of the last several months. Now we are at the previous highs here. We could be just off of what could be a strong higher high and a snapback type of play. But again, are we just going to see full-on expansion out of this range? It's been a 3-year range up here, and these are 2-year highs. This is last year's high right there, and this is the previous year's high from 21. That's still a little bit ahead, so we could still look at this market continuing to flush this thing out a little bit more, and then do we start to see rejection? Is 17K possible here? So that's something to keep in mind, is this market still hasn't seen a strong rejection just yet. Maybe today it does develop it. The NQ is at 12% of ADR right now and 27.75 points as it heads into Fed Day. So again, all eyes on the Fed. Taking a look at crude oil. Crude oil right now higher by about 3/4%. This lower low right here could get the ball bouncing back towards 72. This is a really solid rejection from an intraday perspective, just ahead of the 3 o'clock hour AM Central. That nice little rejection recovered the previous session's low, and we're returning back up. So to push back above that prior low here and get a lower low, you're returning back to the previous session's mid with a shot to rotate all the way to the top of the trading range. Now keep in mind, if after the morning strength we're hit with resistance and price can't get back above that 70 level at the mid, inverted checkmark day, do we continue pushing lower? Remember, 67 and 68 were our targets, as a zone, 67 being a great LVN, 68 being a 100% key range target, which we've now reached. The low today, 67.71, so we've gotten in that pocket. Not a bad little zone. Lower low failure against those prior lows back here. That could open up again a bit of a short-term return back up within this medium-term downtrend. So right now showing a bit of strength here. If bulls can continue to keep the previous session's low and close bid, could be looking at a return to the previous mid with a shot at continuing higher over the course of the next day or two into the highs. Looking at gold futures, up about 1/3% right now, but still in a very bearish decline. This thing failing at the previous month's midpoint. No bounce to speak of, no real failed new highs other than this barely failed new high right there. This thing has been very bearish, and to continue to drop in this manner would suggest a return back to value. As we've mentioned, 1950 is year-to-date VWAP here. 1940 is a bit of a support level, and the previous month's low is just below that in the 1930s. So again, any pullback could be an opportunity for bears to defend for a continuation into 1950 to 1930 up ahead. Lastly, taking a look here at the YM. The YM has made it to the previous year's highs, 36,800. It has now pushed through those highs and gotten new all-time highs here, as you can see. Super teeny range of 60 points right now. That is 22% of average range. RTY also trading 20% of average range. And these are clearly awaiting today's Fed statement, rate decision, and press conference. A failure of prices above these highs could open up an outside day down into that 8-period average that's rising, and then we could see this thing bounce and trade and just go sideways. That's been the MO for this market here, has been a lot of sideways action. After strength, it might have a day down, and then a day up, day down, day up, day down. So 36.5 could be in play. If we see some selling pressure, maybe it drops into that level. Once that happens, it could be the extreme of the day with a bounce back up and back and forth and back and forth with an upward bias until we see that strong high. Do we see a strong high? And as soon as we start to see a strong high, that could open up a fade opportunity with some potential distance down below and value sitting back at 34K. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this develops here heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.